Rashida, and we're doing another round of capacities today. And I truly hope that I have a tone, because that was quite nice of me. Let's see if I have a tone, because I have a feeling I might not. Or I might be really, really quiet. Let's see. Oh! Okay, I do have a sound. This is good. Alright. So, seeing that I don't have any trouble today with my sound, I hope you enjoy today's another round of capacities. So, Capacities, as I mentioned before, is a note-taking app. It is primarily conceived to be for single use, no, not for single use, but for only one person. You can share parts of it with other people, but mainly it is... Oh, AJ! Hi! Am I still double? Because I was checking the sound earlier when I was double. She's asking me, wait, why am I still double? Oh my god. It seems you can hear me double. Am I still double and audible? Okay, so this is awesome. She just told me that it is better this time. I did try it beforehand and I had a little bit of trouble there, but it's fine now. I'm glad you're here, AJ. I hope you had a good day. How was work? I do? Oh, dang it. I still think that this microphone is no good. I don't have anything on in the background. I don't have my fan on. I don't have my soundbox on. Anything. I wouldn't know where it's coming from. She's telling me that I have a bad background. I'm not sure how to do that. But I'm not quiet, aren't I? Oh god. I think the microphone is terrible. I'm not sure. Maybe if I use... Yes, it was really quiet when I tested it. She asked me if I have recorded it and tested it, and I did. I recorded and tested it, and it took me quite some time. It was really quiet for some reason. Okay, I think the microphone is terrible. I wasn't sure. You said I'm slouchy. Oh my gosh. It's kind of ruining my mood. I want to have a good audio for you guys. Or one guy, one person. And I just don't have that, even though I have a microphone now. But it was a cheap one. This had to be a microphone capable of streaming from ISY. I kinda doubt that. Really? I have it right in front of my fucking mouth. Okay, now I have about. Wait, let me take a ruler. I have about 20 centimeters between the microphone and me. No, I haven't. I didn't move away from the microphone at all. She's asking me that. I don't think. Okay, AJ is saying that she's testing it through her tablet, and I don't think that's the case. It was really quiet on my tablet earlier too. I don't know. I had I had really trouble getting this to work in the first place. So being this quiet and loud from time to time is kind of weird. I don't really know what it is. Really, if you're kidding me. Oh wait, let's see if I use this one. Sorry, I'm double right now. Instead of the other one. Am I? Can you hear me? Because AJ is saying that I'm really super quiet again. Jetzt ist es. Oh, AJ is saying now the rushing is gone. Am I louder now, or am I still quiet, or is it still like loud and quiet sometimes, depending on whatever? Yes, it's good. Okay, now she's telling me I have a good audio. Welcome. Why does it always take about 10 minutes till I have a good audio? I have absolutely no idea. So again, welcome. My name is Rinja Mashita, and we're going to look into capacities once more. And this time around, I'll also talk. Yes, AJ, also welcome into my world. You're a part of my big, 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 big world. Yeah. Um, who was that who sang that? Big, big world. Emily? Amelia? I'm a big, big girl in a big, big world. Yeah, AJ says that she had the same problem in the beginning, so who knows what the problem is. Yes, I know. She's telling me to watch out for copyright. I think this was only just like a few melodies, and I don't think I was right in the melody in the first place. Was I? Probably sounded quite terrible. I wouldn't be surprised if it did. Alright, and if you guys can hear some sort of clicking, this is my keyboard. I have a mechanical one. Oh, thank you, AJ. She's telling me that I'm better than her, but I'm still terrible. I'm still terrible. Anyways, you haven't answered my question yet. If how was your day? Was it good? I had a quiet day today with a little bit of work. Right. So we wanted to do books. So let's do books. Alright. Last time I told you that we can do anything and everything like a hub from the daily note. We're gonna do that again. So let's see. And we use the add instead. Like add. And then let's go to keeper. Keeper is what I'm listening to right now. Oh my god. AJ is saying that she finished her work and her coworker is going starting her vacation or his vacation. Their vacation. And oh my god. They have it good. They really have it good. Cause there's good weather now. I think last week or 2 weeks ago there was just rain all the time and windy and cold weather, even though it's July. I think the weather was more like April weather throughout July here in Germany. So I hope they have good weather for their vacation. Alright, so to be able to edit this, we're gonna turn it into a block, this inside link, and then we're gonna turn it into an embed. That gives us this toggle, and therefore we can actually work in it. So Keeper is currently, for anyone who has a Audible subscription, free to listen to. And it is a male x male romance, if you want, and also plays within the Omega verse if you are into those type of things. It is a romance, fantasy, and paranormal. Keeper is the second book. The first book is Defender, and the third book would be Sentinel, and it is about werewolves, or in this case, shapeshifter. So let's add that tag. Alright. So there's, like I said, it's shapeshifter. I haven't rated it yet. It is the second time that I'm listening to it, so I could actually rate it. But I want to listen to it first before I rate it this time around, because I could be memorizing, like, my memory could be faulty about how much I like it. So I'll rate it once I'm finished with it. It is written by the author Claire Cullen, narrated by John Solo. It was published on Audible on June 10th, 2020. Why is there time? I have absolutely no idea. So let's take off the time. Related, as I said, Defender and Sentinel. There are, as far as I know, no sequels or prequels or anything, or any other like books that are related to it. So there's nothing. I am currently listening to it, so I will add the date for today because I started it today, and when I finish, I will simply add the time when I finished it. And as you can see, I added the time when I started it. It is showing up on the side with the calendar. This is a national holiday in Germany. Sadly, my region doesn't celebrate it, but Bayern is celebrating it, I think. Correct me if I'm wrong, AJ. I know you don't celebrate it. There are certain holidays within Germany that is only celebrated in Bayern. So, no Thuringia. I mean, in Thuringia we have 11 days, I think. Bayern has about, what, 16 or so? They have the most. And Berlin actually has one of the least holidays days within the year. I think they only have 8. And the others are somewhere around between there. So, okay, for a summary, this is public. You can actually find, I've copied this one from GoodNotes, yeah, Goodreads. Wait, let me check what that app is called from Amazon. I think it was Goodreads, where you can rate them, these books and stuff like that. There's another version that's called Storygraph. You can also rate books there. But yeah, Goodreads. It's Goodreads. So you can find this description on Goodreads, so it's public information already. For every pack needs a keeper. As I said, this is about shapeshifters and also about packs in an Omegaverse. To kind of like tell you a little bit about what those all things mean. It means, pack like wolf pack. In this case, the pack isn't just made out of wolves. It is all types of shifters. They form a pack, and a pack, of course, has an alpha, and they also have beta and omega. So, in the Omegaverse, I'll go into it. An alpha is the most powerful. It is like with alpha and omega type of situation that's kind of like similar. It's well known, this type of constellation. And omega is kind of like weak most of the time portrayed. I don't think they are necessarily weak portrayed in this series. I mean, they have their strength and they excel at it. Defender actually is about an omega that defends the pack, and he does it with words, and that's the traditional defender role is filled by an omega that defends with words, not with muscle. Muscle are the alphas, and there are multiple alphas within this pack in this story. Sometimes there's only one or two, sometimes there's more, but you have a mix between alphas, omegas, and betas. In the omega verse, however, an omega can also get pregnant, and it does not matter which gender they are, if they are male or female, they can get pregnant. That's the omega verse. So the omega can actually get pregnant from a beta too, but most of the time it's like omega alpha situation going on. The omega gets pregnant by the alpha. Beta are normal. Beta males cannot get pregnant. It's only the omega males that could get pregnant and can get pregnant. In this case, they are getting pregnant. So if you're into this kind of stuff with the omega verse, it's kind of like something I like and I love and enjoy it. I read a lot of mangas in this omega verse types of situation, and having a full blown story with the omega verse is fun to know that it is out there, and the story itself is really good. I like it. It's well written and it's fun, and with a little bit of drama and a little bit of action and growth with the characters and everything. So you actually get a good book out of this. If you are looking for something new, something completely new that you might not have written or listened to yet, this would be a good way or a good book to do. You have 3 books, they're about 7 hours and some sort of minutes long. I don't track that, it's not important to me, but if you're into long format books, this would be one of them. I count everything over 7 hours as long, everything under 7 hours is kind of short. I kind of want to be able to listen to it multiple hours and don't have to change all the time. So I totally prefer longer audiobooks. And I am thinking maybe I will buy them too, because currently I'm listening to the free version of it, but I wouldn't mind buying them either. So that is something. Alright, for the summary. Now that you know what omega and stuff like this means. Every pack needs a keeper. Oh yeah, there are certain roles within the pack too. As I said, the defender is one of them. Keeper is another one. Keeper actually makes sure that all the alphas work together well and anchor them. So don't get confused if there's an anchor. Nah, doesn't seem like it's written here, but there are also omegas that anchor the pack, like you would anchor a ship or something like that, to make everything work harmoniously together, to grind down all the sharp edges between the alphas. That's what the keeper role of an omega is for. It is also written here, like every pack needs a keeper, an omega to smooth their rough edges. And Josh definitely isn't it. Forced to babysit some spoiled and disgraced Omega actor, Cole is not a happy alpha. He's determined to send Josh packing whatever it takes. But first impressions aren't everything. All Josh has to do is keep his head down and survive his month of volunteering. Easier said than done when the alphas he's staying with is treating him like some sort of Cinderella. There's something different about Cole and his friends. They're no book club. If that of that he's certain. But when a fight with Cole reveals a secret Josh had never meant to tell, he learns there's more to the alpha than his gruff exterior. When Cole gets a glimpse behind the mask that Josh wears, he sees a very different side to the Omega than the picture painted by the media. And that world of lies and manipulation is all Josh knows. All he is, as he pulls back in by the scheming of his ruthless agent, Cole's protective instincts kick in. Can he convince Josh that there's more to life than his next role? Keeper is somewhat slow burn. They're all kinda slow burns. So don't get worried about that. There are spicy scenes in it, but most of the time they are slow burn. But it's not like threading or like it doesn't feel like forced slow burn. It just happened to be that way. I think that's the best way you can actually describe the slow burn. Slow burn shifter romance, featuring Embrek like mere pregnancy, an overprotective alpha, some difficult, angsty themes, and scenes not suitable for readers under the age of 18. So, yes, this is neither of those books are actually suitable for reader under 18. I would totally rate it 18 plus. Also, be careful, there are some gruesome scenes in there, or kind of like violence type of situation, especially in Sentinel. There are some very could be triggering to some. So be careful about that. Just be warned. In Defender, there is. I don't think there's anything that triggering in there. There is a bloody scene in there, but otherwise, I don't think it should. It's that intense. But with Keeper and Sentinel, I do remember it having some could be triggering parts. It's not. I don't think it's in it is explained in detail, but it is somewhat hinted at least. So don't take my word for it. And be cautious if you get triggered with certain things because of past things that happen to you. Just be careful and aware of it. I'm not sure if there's a trigger warning within the books, not that I remember at least. So here's my warning to you. Yes. So this is, like I said, I started this today, and I also listened to, let's add that one too, Defender. So Defender, oops, no, that's not what I wanted. I wanted to turn it into a blog. Now you have a small card, and then we want to change the view into embed. I'm not sure why it's not doing that right away. As you can see, I added the Male Romance, Omega Verse, Fantasy, Shapeshifter Romance, and The Lost Pack. Hey, The Lost Pack, do I have that here? Nope. That is the series, what it's called. And I want to be able to find all the books within the series somehow that come together. Yes, HHS wrote Alpha and Omega universe that escalated quickly. It always does. I mean, in the first book, the main characters, beware spoilers, they kind of like met and are mated within. It's not really written, but I think within 2 or 3 weeks or so. Yeah, it's kind of like really quick. And I started the second book, and there are already pubs, 4 of them. As I said, those were spoilers from the first book. But it's really, really a good book. I can totally confidently, with confidence, recommend these books if anyone wants to listen to them. Anyways, I use tags to either classify them into genres or even like the last pack, like I did here, is to be able to find all the books. And as you can see, there are only 2, so we totally have to work on the last book, which is Sentinel. Let's go back. The review has to wait. We'll, however, review the first one together. Again, as I said, the tags, I rated it with a 5-star because I don't see anything wrong with the book. I listened to it on August 14. However, I did listen to it, finished it today, so I will toggle on the range, which allows me to go starting and end point, like yesterday started, today finished. And it should show up here on the side too. As long as you have a date function within your properties, it will show up here on the side beneath the mini calendar. Again, Claire Cullen, John Solo. It was published on June 10th, 2022. I think Sentinel was on a different day. It is volume 1. It is related to Keeper and Sentinel. And as I said, in the first book, it is about the alpha, like the leader alpha within the pack, which is Braggs, and Oliver, who is a representative, or like a, what did they say what he was? Advocate. He's an advocate for Omegas and supports them in front of the court. So he is kind of like involved with the law and is taking this very seriously and is highly proud of it and does not want to settle down and stop doing it because it is something that is needed in this universe. So, okay, just so you get a little bit of a summary, again, taken from Goodreads. A mission gone wrong forces Braggs' alpha team to become something more, a pack. By the way, not every, in this universe, packs aren't wanted because of the divided loyalty. So, a lot of things and manipulation has been done to get rid of packs, and a lot of manipulation is done to prevent from packs forming. It is probably, I think it is said to play in the US, I think. Not really sure if it is, but I think it is. So that's another background thing. In a world that no longer welcomes packs, it's all Braggs can do to hold his team together. 4 alphas without omegas is a recipe for disaster. And now that they're civilians, with the military watching their every move, it's not going to be easy to keep the truth about their pack hidden. Bragg's most pressing problem is his Buddy Duke's stolen son. Everywhere he turns for help is a dead end, until Chances introduces him to Oliver, the capable, captivating Omega and legal advocate. Bragg's luck might finally be turning around. But can he trust Oliver with more than just their legal troubles? Can he trust him with his secrets? Oliver has everything he could want in life: a successful career, the respect of his peers, an apartment in a city, but not an alpha. Been there, done that. No shifter he's dated could handle the fact. Some days, Oliver's job comes first. When the death of his estranged parents takes him back to his childhood home, he meets Brax, the handsome, troubled doctor who just might be the exception to the rule. The Fanta is a high novel-length shifter romance featuring MPreg, male pregnancy, cake, stubborn alphas, and some scenes not suitable for readers under the age of 18. As I said, they are all rated 18. I am well above 18, so I don't really care if they're for not for youngers. So most of my books that I read are actually not suitable or listen to for people under the age of 18. I think there's one series I would say that is um, suitable, and that is House of Nights by PC Kast and Kirsten Kast. But other than that, not that I remember. So just be aware of that. I'm probably going to say that multiple times whenever I talk about books. So we have capacities, we have books. Best way to combine two worlds together. And you can also write your own book with the capacities. But that is something for November when NaNoWriMo comes around. So I will get into that then. But for now, we're gonna kind of stick with books and other things. So for the review, let's see. The characters are definitely well made. So like, I can't see a thing. The mic is in the way. So let's write that down. Yeah, I can't see a thing. How about a little bit ASMR, right? Why not? Let's do a little bit of ASMR. That should be fine. Oops. Yeah, let's do it like this. And also like go up on this to be able that you can hear the clicking sound of my mechanical keyboard. um, no, both of them are actually having trouble with that. let me get a different chair, because this one is way too low. I really do love my new chair. It's cute and everything, but the height issue, guys, I'm telling you, it's a real problem. Alright. I'm not that tall, truth be told, but my desk is kinda tall and it was starting to freaking hurt my arms while typing. So, as I said, it was a real problem. Alright, Asia is saying that hers is really low, but perfect for her. Yeah, you don't have a height changeable desk the way I have, so my desk is probably too high in terms of adjustment just now, just for the one for my chair. But it's so freaking cute. It's yellow and puffy and looks like a freaking cloud. I wouldn't say that the portion where you sit down is more comfortable, but the back part definitely is. Charity? Yeah, I know it. It's written. So, alright, so for my review itself, I went with. Okay, let's put this back before me because I don't want you to be unable to hear me. Alright, I I wrote just now, like, the characters are well developed and show growth within the book and the story itself. It's not fully done, but for this book, it does show it. Both main characters are having trust issues, so that's something they have in common, which they overcome throughout the story. Brax overcomes his health problem because of the guilt he took upon himself and the loss of the previous leader during some sort of mission. He took on the guilt and the pain, and it was tearing him practically apart, just to ensure that his comrades, the other alphas, do not feel it and don't have that problem. So he took that upon himself and is working on that problem. And Oliver is a big help of it because he keeps him grounded. Oh, AJ telling me just now something really fun. I will tell you. AJ writes, when David has time and his parents are gone for the time, we want to do a writing stream, but I don't know how far in the future this will be. So, how far away do his parents have to be for the stream? Because it would be a really interesting stream, I think, especially if we all kind of like share our monitor or something. It would be really fun. I can totally see that. Okay, H is saying that they'd have to be far away so that they can't call him all the time. Okay, yeah. But if he tells them that he's doing something for an hour, I think they would leave him alone for that time being, right? AJ is telling me that that ain't working. They still call him. Okay. It, it was worth a suggestion, I think. Alright, so, yes, and Oliver and his charity case, in this case, the child home, the heritage from his father are saved and helped by Break. So they help each other's out and kind of grow closer because of it. There are no plot holes as far as I know. They're all kind of fixed, not right at the time, but there are like not really Easter eggs, but there are mentioning things and then later on they solve themselves. So it's not like some books where you have things and they don't ever solve themselves and you know stand there wondering what happened to XYZ. What happened with that? Why is what happened? I don't know. It's never written down. So this is not the case here. Not as far as I know. Or noticed at least. Sometimes I'm dense and notice stuff, just don't notice things. And then there are other times I'm really sensitive and notice everything. It even annoys me. I like a little bit of spice in there, however, the story would still be good without it. Which is also really nice. Good to know, I think. There are stories where if you take out the spicy scenes, there's not much plot and they're basically porn. So if you like these types of things because you're really into it in that moment, by all means read it. I do it too. I just saying that sometimes it's nice to know whether there'd be plot left over without the spicy scenes or not. I'm still reading one book. It's called All He Will Ever Be. I love the marketing the author is doing. Um, okay, W. Winters, is it? Or Willow Winters. She does have an Instagram account and her marketing is really good. She does have different covers depending on what you like, and she even has a range of her arranged her books like in a certain color coding Those are the incognito ones. And if they're really spicy types of situation, they have a different color, like a slow burn or even a friendly, like under 18 friendly type of books. I really like that. And some have some artworks on the front, others have some abstract art on the book cover. So her marketing, I truly like it, and it is incredible. Oh my god, they call. So going back to the part with David, his parents even call him when he's working. My friend just wrote. So, yeah, I have absolutely no words for that. At least let him work in peace. um, but I know they dote on him, so he's well loved and spoiled. But we love him and keep spoiling him, which is probably not good, but we're still doing it. He's lovely. Okay, so back to the other book that I was saying about. I don't think I ever read a book where I hated the main characters. I I'm at the, I think, a third book or something, and I'm like, WTF am I reading? I want to finish it because I like her marketing and the personality she herself is, and it does sound like a really nice, good story, but I don't think I will finish it. It's on my list for a while now, and I can't stand the main characters. These main characters are just like, no, no. I mean, the girl. It's set in like mafia types of situation. There are two mafia clans, and the girl is from a very powerful mafia clan, and the guy is from an newly formed mafia clan, if you will. And he did shady things for his old man. His old man was a piece of trash. And yes, anyways, so because of the business he did on the girls' clan, um, he was tortured by the girl's father. And he heard a voice, which, just so you know, it was not her voice, but he thinks it's her voice. So he has an interest in the girl, the daughter, by the way, of the clan boss, and abducts her to keep her safe between the war, because there's a third party who wants to war with all three of them. Like, I don't know. Anyways, during the abduction, there's a lot of abuse, manipulation, so there's totally a trigger warning somewhere in there. And uh, at first she hates the guy. I think it kind of like plays off the idea of this, where you keep like Beauty and the Beast, if you will. It plays of that, but it's a terribly written one, if you ask me. Like the characters themselves, the story is not even a bad idea. It just find the characters terribly written. They're like whiny and all the time like questioning themselves, and they're just over the top. They're going from A to C all the time, and they're like, just just stop. Just stop. This is my thoughts all the time. The girl has been abducted for about 2 weeks or so, and she's talking about love within 2 weeks. I'm like, girl, you've been abducted, you've been kidnapped, you've been imprisoned in a small room, you've been basically raped and other things, and you're talking about love. What is wrong with your head? That's my thought of the girl, because it doesn't change. You think they finally made progress, like during the first book, like it's kind of soft, they're moving on. No, they're not moving on. They're repeating the whole same shebang they had in the first book in the second. And you're like, Why did you go backwards? You already were past this point. What's the point in going back? Why? It's frustrating because it continues in the third book. I mean, the surrounding changed, but the conflict itself, like between the two of them, it stays the same. It's extremely frustrating to read. Yes, AJ is saying that she loves how much I hate that they go in circles. It's the reason why I don't finish the book. I have a feeling that I will never finish the fucking book. I actually spoiled myself in finishing it, like reading the end. And even that doesn't make me want to finish reading or continue reading it. While I was reading the games we used to play, I was extremely frustrated with the characters. But I loved the characters because they were well written. They were written to a point that you actually love them and you want the best for them. So, them going a little bit in circles, or like, no, actually, they're not really going into circles. They're kind of like still working on the problem itself. It's just drags on because they're kind of like incapable of communicating. So the basic of the book is that the characters learn to communicate with each other, and it's not a circle. It's like they just take so long that you get frustrated with them. It's the time that passes. Which book? The games we used to play, or all he will ever be? Because that book is fucking huge. The last one, it is over 600 something pages or so. And it's basically 4 books in one. Oh yeah. Yeah. AJ is telling me that the games we used to play actually needed more words. And yes, totally. But if I remember correctly, David actually deleted some things because they were unnecessary, so maybe he shouldn't have. And I also remember him, he told me that he had to rewrite some stuff later on, quite a few chapters, because he decided to do things differently. It was really fun reading the games we used to play because I had contact with the author, so whenever I got frustrated or something, I would kind of like give him a voice message what I thought of the plot and everything. It was a really interesting way of reading the book. Even though it took me quite some time to get to it in the first place after AJ gifted it to me. But when I got to it, I was really annoyed with myself that I didn't start it earlier because it is lovely, it is funny, it is frustrating, it is sexy, and it's totally not a slow burn, but at the same time, it is a slow burn. Just to clarify myself, it is not a slow burn in the spicy scenes. Absolutely not. However, it is a final slow burn when it comes to the relationship between the main characters. When I first told David, the author, about it being a slow burn, he was like, they're having spicy scene within the first 3 chapters. Yes, they do. However, the relationship itself is a slow burn in my opinion. And I kind of love it. I think my first message to him was like, I'm at page 38 and I'm already crying. Yes, I cried multiple times while reading this book, which makes it an exceptionally good book. And totally, you should read it. The games you used to play. Let's. Did I even add it? Have I added it yet? I only added the audiobooks that I have, so I'm not really sure whether I have added my physical books yet. But I think I haven't yet, so I could take games. Nope, I haven't yet. We used to play. So, like, let's create that book and work on it, because this is a fabulous book. It's a perfect ending to this, and also kind of to tie back in how to use capacities. So we are turning this one back into a embed view, even though I changed it in things. Anyway, so let's close this in. It is a total of 5 stars. There's nothing else to say. It's 5 stars. It is a MM romance. It has to do with magic. A raccoon. Yes, there's a raccoon in it, and I love the raccoon. Wait, raccoon is written with a double O, isn't it? Yeah, I think it is. So let's add the raccoon. Wait, let me get the book. I forgot how to write a raccoon. Yeah, it is written the way I've written it. I mean the second part, like with double C and double O. Okay, AJ is writing. Shakespeare is great, and yeah, and then she told me how to write a raccoon. Thank you very much, AJ, for telling me how to write raccoon. And yes, here the raccoon's name is Shakespeare. He's lovely. That's not a cat. Huh? It's not? It's a freaking raccoon. Is that a type of cat? It's a wild animal. But he's so cute. Something along the line is the scene with the raccoon, how it starts to be a part of their lives. And it's freaking awesome. I just laughed so badly while reading it. I had really trouble reading to continue reading, let's say it like that. All right. What genres does it still also have? We have magic, we have raccoon, we have MM romance, and AJ. What other genres are there? Friendship, love. Oh yeah. Um, enemies to friends. I think it is. Foe to friend. Let's go with foe to friend. Foe to friends. No, lovers. Foe to lovers, because they're getting their lovers. Alright. I'll add more later on. So, and oh wait, it also has MBREG. It's an MBREG version. Hey. Oh yeah, crime, fantasy. Crime, fantasy. Boys Love already have with MM romance. Alright, I was kind of like reprimanded to not spoil everything, so okay, we're gonna leave it as it is. I probably spoiled way too much, but I love spoiling. So, okay, medium. I have the physical book. There's no audiobook yet. So, author is David Jimenez. Jimenez? I always have trouble with the last name. It is Spanish, so it would be Jimenez? Jimenez? Oh my god. God, I'm butchering that name so badly. Yes, AJ, even if you write it down how it's written, it won't show the people how it is spoken. Jimenez. Okay, Jimenez. It's called Jimenez. She just told me how to speak it. Okay, so as I said, there's no narrator. Published it. When was this published? Let me see. It's probably written inside the book. In 2023, it was published, but not the correct date. So somewhere in 2023. Alright, so leaving out the date for now, it is book volume 1. I'm not sure if there are others. I was told there might be others, but I'm not sure if there will be. So let's go to Amazon, because that's where you can get it. The games we used to play. I see. I already used it in here, so. Oh, there's also a German version, just so you know. And it's called The Games We Used to Play. Auf Deutsch umstellen. Ein Spiel mit dem Feuer. It's strange when you want to continue reading English, like speaking English. Like you're so into speaking English that you want to speak the German words in English. Alright, So the German version came out on March 6th, 2025, and the English version came out, and it is you can read it on Kindle if you have it. It came out on October 17th, on the birthday of my friend, another friend, Momo. Her birthday is on October 17th. Um, all right, so let's add the date, October 17th in 2023. It's a fabulous book. You should all read it. Totally. Alright, so let's copy this part into the summary. The summary is always the part that is publicly available and usually written in the back or in the description of a book. So that's not a summary that I've written. My summary is usually kind of down here with the reviews. My review, and sometimes it's kind of mixed between a summary and my thoughts on it. I'm probably using the my review part a little bit wrong there. But anyways, let's continue. Anyways, to just see or tell you what is written on the back to get you more enticed into reading it. Luca Callahan and Blake Grimshaw couldn't be more different. Even if they tried, the former is a lord, heir to the Belvic dukedom, and a member of the royal guard, while the latter is the leader of the Black Fern Syndicate and the last known magic user. But when England is threatened to be destroyed by tsunamis, earthquakes, and other catastrophes caused by magic, the captain of the guard sees no other choice but to assign them to solve the case together. Little does anyone know that they have quite a bit of history together that they will be forced to work through if they hope to be successful. Only time will tell if this tragedy is able to repair what had been broken years ago. Or perhaps it will turn out that they had always been destined to destroy each other. A story about friendship, love, regret, magic, and most importantly, a raccoon. I so love the raccoon. It's my favorite part in the book, besides the names. I mean, I really, there's kind of like some love Luca, some love Blake. I'm totally Team Blake. So, yeah. AJ, which team are you on, Luca or Blake? Team Cat. Oh yeah, Cat is tall. Cat is awesome too. But I was asking for the main characters, not the side characters. Even though I really hope that Cat is getting her own book because she's just fabulous, guys. I'm telling you, absolutely fabulous, gorgeous, and just extremely funny. Okay, AJ says, I know, but Cat is the best. So she's totally Team Cat. Now I'm kinda torn between Cat and Blake. If I go by main characters, it's totally Blake. If I go by side characters, it's totally Cat. So I have two lovable ones. I do like Luca too. I love the name Luca anyway, so yeah. I like the character Blake Grimshaw so much that in the game that I'm playing, I'm Lady Grimshaw. AJ writes, I always go on David Nurse that he writes this Cat X Cass story further. Yeah, and he always gets sidetracks with other projects. Sometimes I think he has ADHD like me. Even though I don't have been tested or anything, but a friend of mine told me that I totally have ADHD because I start all the things and then don't finish it. I have all the ideas, but I don't get to it. Yeah, but Cat and Cass. I'm not gonna go into who Cass is. That would be way too much spoiling. But yeah, their story is probably amazing too. And I hope it starts at the point where they get to know each other when they first meet, because that would kind of line up with the events that take afterwards. AJ just wrote that He started a new story out of spite because he did read a book that was really bad and wanted to show it can be better. It's about human traffic. Totally, I'm pretty sure he's gonna put a trigger warning in there. I think he did with this one too, but I'm not sure. Yes, he's totally that type of person. We still love him. He's way too spoiled. AJ, we're spoiling David here. Okay, AJ is telling me that there's no book without a trigger warning because he has some really, really triggering books, and some of them I probably won't read, or maybe I will start and never finish because I can't handle it. I know that he wrote a story during our last NaNoWriMo that is kind of like heavy, but I think there are also funny parts in it. That makes it really, really bad in deciding whether you want to read it or not. Because you want to read it for the funny parts, but then you get problem with the harder parts that aren't that good to just easily digest. But I'm really wondering what I would think of that one. How far is he with that one? Is he finished? Or is he going to finish it during NaNoWriMo this year? The one from last year. I think you said something about that. AJ writes, yeah, he wanted to finish it this year, but writes other stories in the meantime. Jesus. The only good thing about this whole thing is he's studying literature. So he's basically doing his studies while writing. I don't think there's going to be any more perfect of his studies going anywhere in the world for him than literature and being able to do this for his university studies. So I think he did find the perfect one. Not everyone does. And AJ continues to write, and I'm sitting here and try to finish my planner for next year. Yeah, what is the theme of your planner next year? Because this year's theme was Axolot, and it's really cute. It's still Axolot. Okay, so even next year you can get a really cute planner with an Axolot on it. She recycled it, she writes. I was thinking about rewriting All He Will Ever Be, but I don't think I can. Even though the characters are kinda. Ugh. Those circles. No, don't. Don't do circus in your books if you write them. That's not good. Anyways, we are kind of like over the time. We've talked way too much. So, anyways, we could finish with a little bit. So, I will show you a little bit of. Okay, AJ says she started to write a story for David with a serial killer. Why would you do that? With a serial killer? Why? I like lovable ones. Even though I don't really think that the lovable ones have to be good ones all the time. And I want to finish with Cat because AJ loves Cat. And I'm going to read my most favorite part. Okay, she continues because David wanted to have one and it's more like a comedy. I like comedy. I'm not really good at writing comedy though. And okay, so where do we have it? So the scene is Katerina showing up at Blake's place where Luca is staying because of the mystery they have to solve. And she's crying because she just got engaged to a incredibly terrible man. And she is seeking distraction. and Blake shows up and can't handle it. So he is kind of like, okay, I'm gonna go to the gym. He has his own gym in the apartment, and they go to the gym, and and Luca and Katharina want to watch because they never seen um, a gym from the inside, and Blake is thinking it's nothing special, anyways. So he agrees in the gym. All right, I think I found the page. So Blake, I promise it's nothing special. You won't miss out on anything. Come on, we are just going to sit here for a while and not disturb you. How bad could it be? Luca tried to convince me. Maybe he was right. They would most likely get bored after a couple of minutes and leave me alone for the rest of the evening. Fine, but you have to promise to be quiet. They both sat down on the floor, leaning with their backs against the wall, and started to pass the bottle between them. It wasn't the peace and quiet I had hoped for, but at least Katharina's mood seemed to have improved, and that, in return, made Luca happy. Surely that was worth a piece of my sanity. I decided to ignore the awkward feeling of being watched and just act the same way I would if I were alone. So I said to unbutton my waistcoat, not intending to exercise in my more formal attire. In my opinion, that was a perfectly sensible course of action, but it seemed Luca disagreed. Have you lost your mind? You can't do that in front of a lady. I was about to disagree and tell him that obviously I was quite capable of doing so, but Katharina beat me to it. Luca, I swear to God, if we ever again discourage that man from undressing in front of me, I will end this friendship once and for all. I wasn't sure whether to laugh or to be mortified. I also wasn't sure if I still wanted to take off my shirt. Maybe training in it wasn't such a bad idea after all. In the end, my desire not to ruin yet another shirt won, and I was left standing bare chested. I really love that scene. I mean, in my head, she has this really incredible tone of voice that I probably can't even do. But this is Luca, I swear to God, if you ever again discourage that man from undressing in front of me, I'll end this friendship once and for all. I think that's one of the best sentences in there. I mean, there are really a lot of gems. There are so many gems in this book, you won't believe me, but there are, and this is just one of them, and it's gorgeous. I really liked it. So that was just a small scene from the book, and that's where I will leave it. So if you like to read something new from a not well-known author yet, he will be fantastically well known, and everyone will scream his name. Totally into that. Then you should totally check out his book, The Games We Used to Play, and it is available on Amazon as a paperback as well as on Kindle. So check it out. And with that, I will leave you for today. We went a little bit overboard again. But, anyways, I will leave you and have a good day. Have fun. And oh, really? It was the best sound. Okay, HA just told me that this was the best sound depending on what I did. I will keep the settings as they are and see if they're still the same the next time because I am afraid it might not be. It always changes. So, seeing that I had a good sound and I love you all, see you next time. Until then, bye. See you next Friday at 6 p.m. Bye bye.